Deployment process in Salesforce. The deployment process in Salesforce involves moving metadata from one Salesforce organization to another, such as from a sandbox environment to a production environment. The deployment process typically involves the following steps: planning, testing, packaging, deployment, post deployment testing, rollback. The deployment process typically involves the following steps: planning. The first step in the deployment process is to plan the deployment. This involves identifying the metadata that needs to be moved, determining the order in which it needs to be deployed, and identifying any dependencies or conflicts that need to be resolved. Testing. Before deploying metadata to a production environment, it is important to test it in a sandbox environment to ensure that it works as expected and does not break any existing functionality. Packaging. Salesforce metadata can be packaged into a deployment package which can be easily moved between environments using Salesforce built-in deployment tools. Packages can be created using Salesforce Metadata API or by using third-party tools like Gearset or Copado. Deployment. Once the deployment package has been created, it can be deployed to the target environment using Salesforce built-in deployment tools such as the Force.com migration tool or the Salesforce CLI. During the deployment, it is important to monitor the progress and resolve any errors or issues that arise. Post deployment testing. After the deployment is complete, it is important to perform post deployment testing to ensure that the metadata is working as expected and that there are no new issues or errors. Rollback. In the event that the deployment causes issues or errors, it may be necessary to roll back the deployment. Salesforce provides several tools for rolling back deployments such as the Force.com migration tool and the Salesforce CLI. Overall, the deployment process in Salesforce is a critical part of the development lifecycle, and it is important to plan and execute deployments carefully to ensure that they are successful and do not cause any issues or errors in the production environment. Overall, the deployment process in Salesforce is a critical part of the development lifecycle, and it is important to plan and execute deployments carefully to ensure that they are successful and do not cause any issues or errors in the production environment.